Leftover acrylic skins, anyone? I had a lot of them left over, so we're going to transform them into something new. Okay, so I did this waterfall project a few weeks back, and I had a lot of skins that I had created specifically for this project. So I just poured paint and let it run until we had kind of this water flowing kind of look. And that's what you're looking at right here, those dried paint skins. But we always use our skin, so I had this aha moment and decided that I would do a simple seascape using those leftover skins. And this is a 12 by 24 inch canvas, and we are going to start by putting some paint down for the background for our seascape. Now, I always wanted to do these little dabs. You see people do lots of little dabs of paint and they smear them together and voila, they're a background. Now, I do paint. I am an acrylic painter, and that's just not how I paint. I usually have paint over to the side, and I will have paint over for the side for this one, but I thought I would put some of these dabs down just for fun. And yeah, I think you have to actually have paint in your tube to get those dabs. So I have some white over to the side. I think I'll just put some in. I'll just have to dab it on my canvas because I'm got some paint on order. I don't have enough white to get out of my tube. Yeah, this is the real world. We're not going to edit this out. We're just going to spray with a little bit of water, and we're going to keep on moving, and we're going to blend our sky blue light, our titanium white, and our turquoise together to make a sky for our seascape. For the foreground, I'm just going to be mixing some yellow ochre mixed with gold, and probably going to add a little bit of brown for shading to do my sand on my seashore. I'm also going to add here just a little bit of white. We're going to blur this out just a little bit. And here's what we end up with, a very simple background for our acrylic skins. I'm going to grab my acrylic skins, and we're going to start placing them on the canvas, kind of figuring out where they're going. These were once waterfalls. Now they are going to be waves for an ocean. I kind of have to fiddle with them and see how I want to place them, and I am not going to play. It took me a while to place these and figure out what order I wanted them in so that they looked most realistically like an ocean. I took a really long time trying to figure out how I wanted this layout to be, and in the end I decided I needed to alter my beach a little bit, change the direction a little bit of the way the water was going so that I could use these skins. I definitely didn't want to make any more skins. I wanted to use what I had. And while I was there, I also decided to darken in my water. This is going to be my horizon line, and I knew that I needed to bring in some more of the darker blues and purpley kind of colors because that's what I had in my skins. So I just took the time to do that and blend it in so that my skins are going to fit in a little bit better with the color palette. And I've decided to lighten up my sky just a little bit so that I can have kind of a light reflection in the end. And you'll see what I mean in the end. So once I get my skins all laid out where I want them to be, then I'm going to be in really good shape. Okay, so I have my layout, and it may look a little wonky because I need to do some trimming. I have some tails on the end of some skin, so I'm going to start right here and just get rid of the tail end of this skin by just taking some scissors and clipping it, and then I can just tuck that under so that doesn't show because that was a little too dark anyway for what I needed. And I'm also going to do a little bit more trimming down here and get rid of that. I could leave it, but I think it's going to look cleaner if I get rid of it. And then I've got some on the side. I did wrap my skins a little bit on the side, and I'll glue them down on the side. So a little bit more. yeah, I had folded this under. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off now. I don't want a lot of bulk underneath this. It's always better not to have too many layers of skins. It'll come back to bite you later. I've worked with skins enough to know now that there's just some things that you need to do and some things that you need to avoid. There's a couple of ways you can glue down these skins, but yes, they do need to be glued down to the canvas. You can use acrylic paint, which I'm doing here, just some acrylic paint, thinned out with a little bit of water, even pour paint. You can actually glue your skins down with that. And some of the newer skins that are sort of thin and I don't want them to buckle, this might be a good way to glue them down. But I am going to use my diamond glaze for the most part, especially with your thicker skins. You're not going to have a lot of buckling with your thicker skins or dissolving, because both varnish, diamond glaze, and even acrylic paint can actually break your skins down and they will bubble up. So using as little glue as possible is always a really good thing. So I'm just going to go around and glue all of my little pieces back down and each strip of skin. Literally what I'm showing you here is just alternating between the acrylic paint to lay down the skins and diamond glaze. Kind of just depends what kind of skin that I'm using. And yes, there are different types of skins. Check out my acrylic skins playlist that shows you how to make different types of skins or how to make acrylic skin jewelry with your existing skins. I'm just going to get all of this laid down. And I'm also going to get the sides here. I like to wrap my skins so that they don't pop off. And once I've laid them down, this is what I have, but I am not done. I have both detail work and finished work with the waves as well. I'm just going to add a little bit of detail into my water now, blending my skins in a little bit better. I'm just using some colors mixed with white, a little bit of the turquoise mixed with white, a little bit of phthalo cyan blue mixed with white, and I'm gonna do some wave detail over here on the side as well and do some white caps. Just kind of blend it in because it's a little wonky over here on the side, but we're just going to blend all of that in with a little bit of detail work and adding a little bit of dark in as well. Then I'm also going to darken up my sand, add some shadows and a little bit of gold. I had to have a little bit of gold there. I'm also going to go around and add shadow to my waves with a little bit of my yellow ochre mixed with brown, so it's a little bit darker. Got to have that fine detail work. And this is what I end up with, but I am not done. I have a final step that I want to do with this, and that is to seal my skins in. Skins are known for getting brittle, so what I'm going to do to protect my skins is to use my diamond glaze. Yes, you may have guessed it, I'm always using diamond glaze. I'm going to be using my diamond glaze over the top of my turbulent sea to protect my skins and keep them from becoming brittle. So it is something that you need to do, because otherwise skins do tend to become, they lose their elasticity, let's just say, and they become more like paper. So I'm going over, this is just diamond glaze in another bottle, and I'm going to be tracing my edge of my skins and making sure that my edges lay down, and they may curve a little bit, but that's okay. It's going to give a nice sheen and a nice reflection on it that I'll show you at the very end. And this is just a silicone brush, and I'm just brushing down. I'm not doing a really thick coat, but just kind of a thin coat. And I may not cover every single part of the ocean part of the skins, but I'm going to protect it for the most part, and I'm also going to get kind of a cool effect here. So that's the positive about using the diamond glaze. And I have a big diamond glaze refill, and I'm just pouring it now, but you do want to be fairly sparing with it because you can get some bubbling. As you can see, it's bubbled up a little, but that will settle down once it's dry. So it needs to dry for a day, and then you get something that looks like this. This is dry, and you can see it has a really nice light reflection to it. I'm loving the way this has turned out. I love the dynamic nature of the waves. Let me know. Would you try an acrylic skin project like this? If you want to know more about acrylic skins, check out my channel and check out these videos for more acrylic skin ideas, pour painting, and more. Till next time, bye now.